Well, welcome back to the Career Build Series. This is part 72. I'm going to keep working on the Katydid, making some really good progress here, so there's really not too much reason to slow down on it. While you're making good progress and while it's fresh in your head, it's good to stay with a build. So that's what I'm going to do. I know we're going to have a lot of build videos here, but this is going to get me to a point where I can use this and we have an air vehicle. That's one of the problems I was having is I was having to use some other builds that I made or something else to go out and do some of these missions. So this will get me back and using my own equipment, which is nice. That's something I want to do. So yeah, so I think we're doing well with this. Let me look real quick. So I said what we're going to work in this video, and I'm going to stick to it, is we'll start working on getting this cockpit set up. Yeah, that's what I want to do. I want this cockpit kind of operational. And so first thing here I'm going to do is a little aesthetics thing. See if I can do it. I may not be able to fit them in there. If I can do it, I'm going to do it. I'm going to put some handles if it lets me, and these will just simulate rudder pedals. It might not let me. They might have a collision. Yeah, they have a collision, so that's fine. I don't need them. All right, let's see. So we get a little bit of a collision here on the door with the get a little bit of a collision with the door in there, but I'm not too worried about it. All right, so let's start setting this up. So this back panel here has our start stop. Right here has our start stop there. So we want to put some. So I want to figure out some stuff here. I want to try to decide what I want to put in here. So we're going to need. So let's start pretty simply here. So we have our. Well, I'm not clicking on the right thing. I'm clicking on the chair. Okay, right there. So right here on, was it 3? 3 is engine start stop. I'm going to change the number. We'll make this our first panel anyway, so it'll be 1, 2, make this 3, and I'll go change that now so I don't forget it. It's kind of important at times to get your numbering scheme figured out so that you don't have to keep going back and fixing it, but it's not the end of the world. So this is just going to be 3. Okay, that's done. Now that we'll still control it. Okay, so we can reach this button with our while we're sitting in our seat. We cannot reach number 4. So 4 is going to go ahead, and that's going to be something. It'll be an indicator. It'll be a be an indicator or gauge, and I kind of want it to be an indicator because I'm going to struggle to read a gauge. So I think what I want is a low fuel indicator. Low fuel. Okay, low fuel. Take 6. Okay, low fuel indicator. All right, so that'll be 4. That we just need to see flash, and we don't need to actually, do anything with it. I'm thinking fuel here. Fuel will be we'll do fuel above that indicator, so that will be 2. Fuel, and I like putting gallons. That will be a gauge vertical 0 to, we'll say 1,000. There's not 1,000 gallons in there, but there's probably 250 gallons at most in there. And then I think, let me see. I think we'll do a high temp. High temp. We'll do engine high temp. Engine high temp indicator there, and that will be 1. And then above that we'll put temperature. That will be, so let's see, this will be 5. This will be 6. This will be 7. And this will be 8. All right, and 7 is going to be our temperature. All right, and so that's going to be above the indicator. So fuel is above the indicator for indicating low fuel, and engine temperature dial is above the flashing indicator that will tell us that. Okay, so then I want right here RPM. I like RPM. Engine RPM. The nice thing about having a single engine is I don't have to duplicate gauges. That can be a pain. So 0 to, we'll say 1500. Actually, what's our max here? We're going max 15 RPS times 60. So we're maxing at 900. So let's do 1,000 on the gauge to index that gauge. All right, so that's kind of our engine section. So when I was an airline pilot, and when I learned to fly, you kind of saw how some airplanes had really well laid out cockpits, some had kind of stick things anywhere cockpits. Especially in airliners, you have very much segregated panel segments. So like, if I was looking at my overhead panel, you had electronics here, pneumatics, hydraulics. And so you knew that if you were in this section, you were working on electronics. If you were in this section, you were working on pneumatics, hydraulics, lighting. So that by putting the things together, it makes it very logical. So this here is pretty much all of our engine commands. We have start-stop engine. We have low fuel, which we need fuel for engine. We have our fuel. We have our high temp, we have our engine temperature, we have our engine RPM. So this is keeping all of our engine stuff together, and that makes it much easier to do a bunch of stuff because okay, I need to look at my engine stuff. Okay, so if you were looking over at your engine panel to start, you would start your engine. It would get going. If you had a if you're flying, you see a flashing low fuel light. Well, all you have to do is look right above it, and you say, okay, well, oh look, my fuel is low. Is it a bad gauge or is it my fuel low? And then if you look and you see a high temp, you look and you're at 119 degrees, well, you need to chop that throttle or else you're going to light your engine on fire, right? And then you have RP. We have our engine RPM here. So I want to do the engine throttle. So I'm going to do both buttons that I can press, and I'm going to do and I'm also going to do seat controls. So right here, that's our engine RPM. So above this goes to 8. So this is going to be 9. So it's really good to have these things together. A lot of older airplanes, and aircraft, like if you look at the cockpit, things were everywhere, and you had to have a flight engineer, and it was just a nightmare to find anything because everything was everywhere. And very much, through a lot of trial and error, and people like not being able to find a gauge in emergency, it's good to put things right next to each other. So right here, this is going to be our RPM. So what I want is I want my throttle control right here and here. Okay. Let's go. So that's 2. So I want engine throttle plus. All right. And we're also going to control our engine throttle with our seat. And that's going to be a push. That's 10. And then here is going to be engine throttle minus. That's going to be an arrow button going down, and that's going to also be a push. All right, so right here, as I'm pushing up or down on my throttle, I have my gauge right here to read out to me what it's doing. All right, and then over here, I'm going to do, I'm trying to think, what is this gauge? I think this gauge, if that gauge is empty, that's perfect. That's perfect. Okay, this is going to be prop pitch. Okay, prop pitch. All right, prop pitch. That's going to be a gauge, vertical gauge. It's going to be, I think we want to go negative 0.1. Actually, I want to do this in percentages, so we'll do negative 10. So I want the ability to put it in reverse prop. But I'll make that so you have to be on the ground. So kind of if we do the regular standard landing, you can put that in reverse. That's the only time I want that in reverse. And then 100% prop pitch on the other end. All right, so that's going to be 5. That's perfect. So now, as you can see, we're controlling our throttle here, and we have the gauge to show us what our throttle's doing. We're going to put our control for the prop pitch here, and we can see what our prop pitch is doing there. That's very much realistically how you would have it in a modern aircraft, so that you can actually see, in real time what you're doing. And so one of the reasons I put it in uppercase letters is, in real life, for example, all the handles and the knobs in your aircraft tend to be different shapes, and the reason is if you're flying, you have your hand on the yoke, and you're looking out the window at the runway, and you're coming in for landing, you want to be able to grab on something and immediately feel that and say, oh, that's my flaps. I don't want flaps, I want throttles. Reach over and you're like, okay, there are my thrust levers. Okay, and you can feel they're different. And then if you need to reach for something else like your spoiler, well, your spoilers are a different shape than your flaps. And so you can reach around the cockpit and feel them. And so in a, say, a complex aircraft where you have mixture, prop, and throttle, your mixture, the handles of your mixture are a different shape than the handles of your throttle. That's a different shape than the handles of your prop. So you can, as you're landing, you can manipulate and adjust and feel these things. So that's kind of, you know, that's kind of an homage to it, making that uppercase so it calls attention to this is your prop. That's not your throttle, dummy. So you make sure you're actually using the right thing. So prop pitch plus, and this is going to be prop pitch minus. All right, and that's going to increase and decrease. So prop pitch, that's arrow button down. All right, so that's nice. That's going to show us, so this is really, I think, well laid out. So this is pretty much our engine and our propulsion systems here. So we have start and stop in our engine. That's going to flick on, and that's going to stay on the whole flight. And the reason why it's way back here, out of the way, switches that you need to use all the time should be right in front of you. Switches that you don't need all the time and you don't want to accidentally touch, like accidentally shutting off your engine, you want to put them somewhere where you have to actually deliberately go for them. So I have to turn 90 degrees in my seat to turn off my engine. And that's what I want, and it will auto restart. And then like fuel, I don't really need to read that much, but if I see a blinking light, that'll call my attention. Temp, I don't have to look at too much, but a flashing light will call my attention to it. And then what is this? 4 is, okay, engine RPM. What did I make this? Nothing. Okay, so this here should be engine RPM right there. Right here should be engine RPM. So that is, let's change that to control. We'll cut it. And we'll make this actually engine RPM. Dial, and then I want to go to 1,000. So that'll be right under the throttle, so that's what we want. Okay, so now I need something for this. So we have fuel. Battery, we need battery. So let's make that battery. All right, so 4 is going to be battery. Again, this is an important system that you need in order to know where you're at, so that you're not... and as you can see, by having these different orientations, like my up-down, that's fuel, my battery sideways, that tells you right away, okay, I'm looking at my battery, I'm not looking at my fuel, because your battery could be full and you look at it thinking it's your fuel and you're actually almost out of fuel and you're like, oh, I have plenty of fuel, and that's how you run out of fuel. So like in real life, they call this human factors. It's the study of how humans interact with machines. And so this was one of the classes we had to learn in college for my degree was why they do different shape handles, why things are placed where they are, why you've had accidents because somebody can't find a button they need, or they accidentally, there was in the Embraers, the start-stop selectors for the engines, people used to go reach up for the igniters to turn on the igniters if they're going to go into heavy rain, and they were accidentally shutting off their engine when they were trying to turn off the igniters after they went through. And so they put these flaps over the start-stops for the engines, so you had to actually lift the flap down to get to the start-stop, because the only time you ever used those was really on the ground or during an emergency restart. So that way you weren't accidentally doing it. So that's why you do things like put gauges different directions. So battery is going to be 0 to 100%. Okay, so now that's starting to look good. And then this is my RPM. I kind of like how these are like kind of flowing crosswise. That's kind of cool too to me. All right, so let's start coloring them up. So we have greens going up. All right, do the right one. Greens for throttle up. We're going to do yellows for throttling down. I used to always do bar graphs for this stuff, but it adds so much more work, so I'm not going to do that yet. So fuel tends to be yellow for me, especially diesel. Like diesel tanks are yellow. That's going to be yellow there. I'm going to actually go orange on those. And then for my... Actually, I kind of want it red. I want your attention being drawn to that. Same thing with temperature should be red. Those are going to be flashing red lights. That's really going to tell you to pay attention. And then green, I think I want... do I want green gauges, red gauges, or greens? I don't know yet. kind of thinking greens. Green there, green there. I didn't need that to go across like that, but that's not a big deal. Okay, good. So that's good. We're starting to make some good progress here. So that's a lot of our controlling done. Let me see what else I want to do here. All right. Trying to think what else I can do here. All right, so I have most of the stuff in my HUD, so a lot of this could be backups. All right, so that's something to consider, that this is going to be backup stuff. I don't think I can move this HUD one forwards. I think, let me try putting a block here. Yeah, that's going to interact. I was going to say I move my HUD forward one if I could, but I don't think I can. Let me try something with this glass. No, not going to bother. I was going to move one forward. This is fine the way it is. I don't want to screw with it too much. So what I could do here is I can put some of the backup gauges here because I'm not really using these here. Like these here, I can put a couple backup gauges. Maybe. Let me see what a compass ball. It's always good to have a backup compass, and it's also mostly the law. You have to have a backup compass for most aircraft. Like, see, yeah, that I can put a backup compass there. I don't need two of them, but actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put it right behind the HUD because you would be using your backup compass if the HUD was having a problem and you could shut your HUD off. So I'll put the backup compass behind the HUD. And I think I'm going to, when I actually do some flying and I get used to it, we'll see. I'll switch them to red lights at one point and I'll keep them on green lights and see what I want there. All right, so that is that. Let's see if there are any other gauges that I can use here. I might put in some monitors and play with some Lua a little bit to do some of my other instrumentation, but I'm not sure yet. I want to back up our artificial horizon, so that's going to go in the center here. So yeah, I want to back up artificial horizon. You'd have a backup one. Again, the HUD goes out. You're in deep trouble if you don't have it. And also, in a pinch, it's nice and quick to look at your artificial horizon there. All right, that's good. So let's look at some more stuff. Again, as you can see, I'm deleting out some gauge panels, so it's a good time to do it now before I realize, I actually want to keep some of that. Compass ball, dial, digital display, gauge, instrument panel, paintable signs. All right. Okay, that's sonar. I haven't even played with sonar blocks at all. All right, so starting to get to where I think we're. I want, like I said, I want to get this cockpit laid out, and then I can kind of decide what I need to do after that. All right, so that's pretty well laid out. All right, so let's put some blocks back in here. All right, and now let's see what else I need to put in here. All right, so let's kind of walk through the gauges again. I know it's important to lay these out properly the first time. That just makes it easier so you know what you're doing. So we have fuel, we have battery, we have our temp and our RPM, our prop pitch. We have controls for that. We're also going to put some of them on the seat. What else do I need? We're going to need a light panel. So the light panel probably over here, I'd say. Yeah, probably there on a light panel. The other thing I can do too is I can put a up panel here now. I can actually do something here because I can do that now. This now because that artificial horizon, it doesn't have a collision in front of it, so I can actually do that as well. If that's something I want to do. And I might do this. Let me try to decide. I might put some, kind of. I don't think I'm gonna like these if I put them here, but and also that door, the way it's rotating, might hit it. But I'm gonna try it. What's that? Sonar noisemaker. Okay, I haven't seen that block before. That's new. Okay. So sometimes I'll put these here for kind of like wheel wells, for foot wells, but I don't think I'm gonna like them. Yeah, I don't like them because it's yeah, it kind of makes it look too blocky. So I think back to wedges here. Nope, definitely don't like that. All right, and so I kind of don't like that panel in the middle. I don't know if I'm gonna even need it. So I'm gonna take it out for now, and then if I need it, I know I have the space to put it in there. All right, so we need lighting. So we need a light panel. So let's make this our light panel. All right, so this one will go to a separate microcontroller for lights. So we need nav slash beacon. All right, so we'll control the nav and the beacon on one button. That will cut down how many we need. Then we want strobes. Strobes. That's going to be a flip switch. That'll be 2. We need landing light. And then we need cabin light. I think that will finish us up here. And then I'll make something in the back for controlling like the spotlight underneath for when we're going up and down. And so the cabin light is going to be important because it's both going to light up the back section, and it's also going to light up our seat here, because at night it's tough to see if you don't have some sort of backlight. You know, the gauges don't put off enough light to really light up the space. All right, so that's that. All right, so let's see what else we have here. We have some panels. I'm trying to think. So we could put a monitor on one of these. Let's do that. All right. And I might put a monitor back in the middle section there, looking down. This will allow us to have an infrared camera in the front somewhere, theoretically. Yeah, I'll put an infrared camera on here somewhere, maybe opposite to where this is here, to look forwards, and then definitely put a camera looking down. So maybe I'll put a monitor here for our downward-facing camera. See how I like that. That probably won't be bad. Yep. Okay, I'm starting to get worried here about there are some things I want to put in I just thought of that I need, that I have yet to consider. All my navigation panels. So let me save this really quick. I can't believe it took me that long to think of that. Okay, let me open up Brizo. Okay, so let me see. I need. Okay, those are 2 blocks. That's not too bad. Okay, I'm going to cut it, and that way I keep our connections. Okay, and then where's the connections go to here? They go to this here, which is the bearing panel. Okay, let's grab this. Cut that. Okay, good. So that's important that I remember that now, as opposed to later. There is a space I think I could put the keypad if I need it, and move that, relocate that. That's probably what's going to happen. That's going to get relocated. Yep, so this whole thing can come. This whole thing can come, not all of it. Thank you. All right, let's load it back up. All right, so this needs to go in. So, again, part of this is getting in the stuff you need. quickly and early, because like if we need to expand the cockpit a little bit, now's the time to do it, not after we've done a bunch of other stuff. All right, so I think, let me see, where can some of this go? All right, so I'm not gonna do a camera here. I think I'm gonna do, that can't go there. That can't go there. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is this. This camera here, or this monitor here, is gonna go here. No, that's not gonna work. Yeah, I've got an idea. Okay, so this is gonna go here. I'm gonna grab this. I want to make sure symmetry's off. Symmetry's off. Okay. Nope, I don't want that. I want a panel. Panel here. Come on, give it to me. Okay, and then this is gonna get merged there. All right, now this lighting panel is gonna get cut, and actually, let me re-grab it. I want it in the right orientation, so I'm gonna cut it. Drag it like go J. K, 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 and then let's see if I put it in front of the monitor here. Can I still see the monitor? I think I can, because the lights aren't super critical, because you can easily pretty easily you operate your lights rarely, so they don't need to be something right at your fingertips. Okay, so starting to get an idea where I want this. All right, so I've got this figured out now. So this this is gonna just get deleted, and I'm gonna grab this and cut this. And can I put you here? Maybe not. No, that's gonna interact with the seat. Okay. That interacts with the seat. But it can go in the door. Okay, so that's gonna go in the door. So let's just cut that. And then the door, let me check, how's the door start? Closed? Okay, the door is gonna start open. All right, so we're going to redo the door to start open, so that's pretty simple. I'm going to cut it like this. I'm going to cut that. All right, so the door is going to start in the open position. All right, then let me see if I put a keypad here. I should hopefully be able to enter in something from the when the door is closed. I just need to enter it in. I don't need to it doesn't need to be perfect. Okay. And then I need to change this controller for the door, which is where. Okay, where am I here? Right here, this one here. Okay, so this needs to start at the position of 1, or a 0.85 is what I have in there. So all I need to do is flop that like that. Okay. All right, so the door starts open. Okay, it's going too far now. Okay, well, this is so is that no, that shouldn't be interacting at all. Okay, let me go like this. Cut this. We'll rotate that. Okay, that's how we'll do this. I'll just redo the numbers. Okay, so the door is going to start open. That will allow us to have that panel kind of come in there. And then I need to do, is that main door or cockpit door? Which one's going there? This one here. Okay, this one here. That's cockpit door. Okay, so cockpit door, it starts at the full position. So off, I want it to be 0.85, and then on, it should be at 0. Okay. Now it's starting at 0. Okay, starting at 0. So I actually want it to start at 0.15, and I want the button on. What do I want it? Starting position should be 0. That will close the door. Okay, open should be point. So confused myself here because I've changed that around. Okay, starting position should be 1. 1. Okay, the activated position should be open, which will be 0.15. Hopefully. Okay, so see the door shuts itself. Then I open it up and it goes so that it's not completely open, it's close. This is interacting a little bit, but it's not bothering me all that much. Alright, can I do my keypad? I can. So now that's a good trick. As you can see, now the keypad, even though I couldn't place that before, now with the door closed, I can manipulate the keypad. So that's a good way to lose 2 blocks there. Okay, perfect. That solves some issues for us. Alright, so now I need a... Let's see. Alright, so this... Go away, please. Thank you. This is going to be my bearing panel here. Okay, so this is coming over here, and that's going to go right here on the armrest. Alright. Alright, and then I need a keypad for altitude hold, which is going to go here. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and do this now. Alright, so that's going to be the keypad for altitude hold. This is going to be the bearing panel. Okay, and then that will get us going for space there. And then I have one more space for a panel here as well. Let's see. I might move lighting to here, which I think I'm going to do. Okay, I think I'm going to move lighting like this. I screwed up the orientation of it already. Okay. Let's cut it. I want to go L. Okay. And then this lighting panel, again, like I was saying, your lighting you don't deal with much. You're going to, pretty much at the start of your flight, you turn on your nav lights, you turn on your, all those. The only light you really change in reasonably often is your landing light, and that's because, your nav stay on, your strobes stay on. When you're operating, cabin will be operating on and off, so that's pretty good there. So some sort of panel can go here, so let's put one in as a placeholder to tell me to put something there. Alright, so I have my bearing system. I need a heading. I need to be able to put in input a heading. So where can I put that? I need heading hold. A bearing, I need a heading hold. I have altitude hold there. Okay. So I could do that here like that. Not crazy about it. It's a little bit blocky for sitting there. Oh, come on. But not crazy about it, but that's, not the end of the world. So this is going to be heading hold. Heading hold. Altitude hold. Okay. And then this will be waypoint. Okay, good. So we're making progress here. Starting to get these gauges set up. So there's gonna be a camera. I'm gonna try to learn a little Lua to get this to so I can switch pages. I'd have to refresh myself on how to do it, but I need to be able to switch pages here so I can get that. I want it. I might just have that downward-looking camera. That's probably what I'll do. I'm trying to think what else I need for gauges here. We're pretty reasonable on gauges. Things will come to me, but yeah. So we're doing pretty well here. So this bearing panel is kind of on the large side. Let's start hooking it up. Keypad Y goes to, I think that's B, and then A is X, and then GPS Y, and X, and that's, oh, nope, that's keypad X. What's that? Keypad Y is B. Keypad X is there. This is GPS X and Y. That's compass. Compass sensor is in the tail. Tilt sensor, compass. Okay, good. And then what do I need here? I need bearing panel. And what is that? Bearing micro out. Okay, so this is going to the autopilot. That's going to tell us what heading to turn to. So we'll have to make an autopilot too. We're starting to run low on space for microcontrollers, which is always the case. But we have some, like, we can do some creative things too. Like this here. I'm going to actually start doing this now. Oh, actually, I got to be careful here. What's here? Okay, so that is nothing there. All right. All right, so what I can do is this. Cut that out like this, make this here, and then that will get me to where I can have a nice big microcontroller fit here. All right, so that's going to allow me to have a nice big microcontroller fit right here. So all of this here is microcontroller space. That's perfect. That frees up a lot of micro space. This here is going to be the stairs, so you can't really do that there. Unless I change out the stairs for a handle, but I really don't want to do that. Yeah, I don't want to do that right now. So, and then I have stuff here already, so that doesn't make too much sense to screw with at the moment. 2 block there for putting another door in. Nice. All right, so yep, we're doing all right here. We've got some space. What are we looking at here for space? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by 3. So we need to be able to put an autopilot in here. You know, let's stick this in. This might actually turn this into my autopilot at some point. Don't really even need an autopilot yet. Let's stick this in here. And so this is going to be important. This gives us the ability to navigate. I really want to just get this to the point where we can do some missions. That's kind of where I'm at with wanting to do this. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to preemptively make this one larger. And then I should be able to stuff all the autopilot stuff in here, I hope. Yeah, I should be able to stuff the autopilot in here, I'm hoping. What do I have for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? So I have 6. I should be able to fit that autopilot in here. All the stuff I need for it. So hopefully they can do that without having to make a new block, because this is taking... Yeah, so that should be alright. Alright, there we go. Alright, so this is buttoned up pretty well. I need to make a panel for... let's see, where is my panel here? There. Okay, that's all free space. Kind of just taking stock of my free space. Like these here, I could all cut out and make a panel and not do storage there. Still have some reasonable panel space for microcontrollers. A 4 by 2 there. You know, you can daisy chain microcontrollers too. You start running the space. So let's build a winch control system. So where's my door being controlled from here? So I think I have a 2 by controlling this one. That's that. Yep. All right. So let's start making a winch control panel. I want to get this up to the point where we can use it in career. That way, you know, like I've said before, one of the ways you kind of learn what you need in your build is by using it. So the sooner we can get out there and use it, the quicker we're going to learn what we actually need, and that's going to be good. So I need to put a GPS down too at some point, but let's start with this. All right, so I want I think I want everything controlled by the harness. Yeah, I think I want everything controlled by the harness. That's going to make it much easier. So let's go composite input harness, control harness, control harness. Okay. I need to have 1, 2, 3, 4. This the winch controls. So this is already probably gonna have to grow. Okay. Um, Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? There's very few times I'm gonna need my winches not to be doing the same thing. So I'm just gonna make an executive decision here. The winches are gonna do the same thing all the time. So let's go output winches down, down, and then winches up, up. Okay, good. So that is going to be, that's going to nip that in the bud. That's going to save us a lot of micro space, and that's going to start getting to be annoying. All right, so that's good. I don't need to control that door, but I need to control the hatch. On off output to electric hatch. Okay. So I need up down. I need the hatch. Do I need anything else? I might not. I may not. Let's start with that. All right, let's start going in here and working on it. All right, so what I think I'm going to do is, all right, control harness. It's going to read a Boolean 1. That's going to be up. And so I think what I'm going to do is feed these through an up-down counter. And then control harness 2 is going to be winches down. Okay, that's going to be winches down. I'm going to do an up-down counter, so I need a pulse here. I think always control CV. Okay, good. Let's start hooking these up. Okay, and that's going to be, we'll set that up. This will be -1 and 1. Increments 1 enabled, that's good. I want thresholds, so if this is -1, -1. Okay, if that's -1, -1, that's winch down. Winch up is what I want. That down, down. Okay, so that's going to be winches down. And this will be winches up here. That'll be 1, 1, 1. It's -1, 1, -1. Okay, that's better. And that's going to do that. That'll control my winches. So what I'll do is I'll click 1. We'll bring the winches up. If I click down, it will put it back to 0. No winch movement. Down again. So that'll give me a medium, an intermediary position. Electric hatch. Let me update this. I want to see how many spaces I have on our harness. Okay, let me just stick one here and then cut it. All right, let me look at the composite. Hotkeys, 1. AD value, left, right. The harness seems like it has all those things. AD, left, right, up to, it has the values. For some reason before I thought I didn't have the values, so I kind of actually want to use that. That kind of works how I want it, I think. I think I'm going to change the way I have this working up. I see. For some reason, I thought that didn't have the ability to do up, down, left, right, and all that. Let's see, blank 2. Okay. Let's. Do I have to make this more difficult? I think I probably do. Okay, I think I'm going to do this like this. Okay, so I'm going to read the number up, down is. We'll do WS, so that's 2. I shouldn't have deleted those. I didn't need to delete them, but I did. 1, 1. They're right here. For some reason, I couldn't see them. Okay. All right, so that's going to be winches up and down. I'm going to have to hold those, but that's not a big deal. I kind of like that better. Electric hatch will make, not that, like that, 1. All right, that'll open my electric hatch. All right, so that's pretty simple. Yeah, I might send some information to the, trying to think if I want to be able to control the helicopter's altitude. That's later. I can put in some more crazy stuff where I control the helicopter's altitude. I'm not going to go with that right now. Yeah, I'm not going to go with that right now. Okay, so let's set that harness up to make this work, and then I can test it. So see, no, it's not letting me do. See, it says right on there on the composite that I have up, down, left, right keys, but I don't. That's what I thought. I thought I didn't have them, and then it was like, yep, you got them. And see, it's not letting me pick them, so I actually don't. I don't think. All right. That was annoying. I could have sworn that it didn't have them, and then it ended up not having them. So that's weird. Okay. So I got to go back to the old system here, which isn't a big deal, but okay. 2. All right. It would have been nice if that's what I thought, and then I doubted myself. So go back to the way we had it. It said right on there, it said it had all the same stuff as a seat, and it doesn't. All right, so this is going to be back to the way I want it. Increment disabled, -1, 1. Okay, so that should set us up for the winches. And then I'll just do 6 for electric hatch. Six for electric hatch. Let's test this out. All right, so let's cut this here. Cut that. I'm probably going to not be able to put it in the... Actually, can I put it in here? No, it's not going to be able to go right in there, so I have to... Yeah, it's not going to be... Let me... Actually, will it let me hang it up here? It might. Ooh, it does. That's beautiful. Okay, that's really good. Can I go one down? Oh, you're killing me. No, that's not going to work because, yep. I can't start with this inside, which is fine because I can't start with this inside because I need to go one more block on here anyways. That's fine. It's not a big deal. Okay, so we'll start with this underneath like so. All right, then I want a cable connector like so. Okay, cable connector goes there. And then I need to set that up so it's like this. Those are on a separate thingy. Okay, let me see. What was this? What is that going to? That's old, I think. This is old here. Oh, Yeah, this is old, whatever I have going out here. That's not going to anything anymore. Okay, so I can get rid of that. All right, and let me see. Let's erase this block. That block can be a cable. This is just going to be a connector to hook that to so I can spawn it with something on it. Like so. Okay, that's good. And then I need to go composite here to, let's see, harness controls. Yep, okay, that's good. So harness controls comes to here, and then I need to go, electric hatch is where? Hatch open close. This here is winches down, so it needs to be here for down and down, and then this was winches up. Is pretty self-explanatory. Winches up. All right, and then what else do I need here? All right, so that's connected there. That's connected there. All right, now I need another harness, so I'll just copy this one. Let's see. And then we'll do a rope here for that cable there. All right, let's test it. All right, so this one starts. I'm gonna have a problem here in a second. Let me see. What did I do for brakes? 5? I think it's 5 for brakes. I can't remember. I can't open this hatch. See, I wish you could select the hatch and then click on it to open it, but no. Let me do this. I need to... Why am I stuck? Oh, I forgot. I have to duck to get out. Alright, let me try to get in this harness. What is open? 6. Okay, that's not working. Alright, alright, we're going to change this like this. Alright, so that starts with the hatch open, and then we have to manually close it. Again, I hope that this is 5 as brakes. Let me check it. Let me check my brakes. I don't think I hooked the brakes back up. No, they're on. Okay, good. So now the hatch starts in the open position, and I can then connect my cable right to it there. And then I want a second way of controlling this because like I'm trying to lay under it to do it, and it's just going to be a mess to do that. Pressing 1, doing nothing. Pressing 2, doing nothing. Okay. Alright, let's do this here. Alright, so I should do a secondary control method on this. Yeah, I really should do a secondary control method on this. That's a bad spot for it. Right here is better, I think. Somewhere over the seat, I think. Like right there. Panel here. Oh, it's in the seats regime there. Okay, let me just stick it here instead. Alright. Alright, so let's see. I'll daisy chain these through. Alright, so I want my hatch. Make it a flip switch. No, I want it as a button. Trying to think. Okay, I'm going to do it as a button. I'm going to need it as a button, push button. So that'll be, let's just make it 7. That way I can use the regular numbers off the harness. Hatch, 2 will be winches up, up, up. Okay, that's going to be an arrow button. Oh, come on. Arrow button, up. It's going to be a push. That will be 8. This one will be 9. Nope. What is it? Go 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What is it? 7, 8, 9, 10, yeah. Okay. This would be 10. Okay, so 4 is going to be winches down, down, push. Okay. And 3 is fine. That can be nothing for right now. 3 is going to be, I don't want to read it back. I was going to do cable length, but it doesn't matter. I'll leave it blank for now, and then I'll play with it later. Let's go to composite. We want to go from this winch to this panel to here. That's going to hopefully give us dual control. Alright, electric hatch is going to start closed again. We're going to do an up-down counter. Kind of like this. And this is going to be looping. Threshold here, there. Okay. Increment of 1, we want 0. Want 0 to 2. Actually, 0. Yep, 0 to 2. Okay. This will be 2. Alright, so we'll make this looping. That will reset it. So 6 is on the seat for the hatch. Or we want 7. Nope, that's not what I want. Or we want 7. Where's 7? 7. And then the pulse can go there, and then we'll put an OR before it. Alright, so we can now press 6 on the harness to open and close the seat, or we can press 7 on that panel. And then we want to put in 8 and 8 and 11? 8 and 11. 8 and 11 will be the alternates for this, for the panel. Okay, there we go. Okay, and then we want to do go like that, and then I want ORs. Okay, so now we can go, we could do 8 or 1. We could do 11 or 2. And then they'll hook up like this. There we go. I think we're in business now, hopefully. Alright, I'd like to get this wrapped up here. So if we can get these doors going, that's good progress, I find. Alright, so now, let's set the brakes. I need to turn this to fail safe, where they start in the where they start in the on position. Okay, that's not working at all. That's okay. Winches appear to be working. All right, so that winch works. Down. Okay, so I can put it up, can't put it down. I think I have the pulses set to the wrong thing. I always forget what the pulses need to be set to, and then I have to go back and change them. This changes all the time. I always forget what these need to be set to, and then I end up having to play with them to get them where I want them. Okay. Nope. All right. So dial time. When in doubt, put a dial on here, see what it's doing. That gives you a visual representation of what you're up against, and that way it's much easier to fix them. Okay, so that is hatch, and this is going to be winch. Okay, and then we need to come over here, and we need to make a couple number outputs here, which we have space for already. Like I anticipated that I was going to screw this up the first time. Hatch, and then this is winches. Okay, let's see. And then we'll read the winches here off this one, and then we'll read the hatch off this one. So let's see what they're doing as off-ons. All right, so what we want to do is we want to be able to press either we either want to press the one button on the harness, or we want to press the 8 key, the up key. That's going to cause us to click up once, is what we want. And then if it clicks up once, we want, all right, that'll go up to number 1. That's going to read 1. If it's a 1, it triggers winches up. All right. We click down again at 0, neither up or down. That stops the winches. Click down, right? So clicking down is either going to be 2 on the harness, or it's going to be 11 on the panel. That's going to pulse it, and it's going to click down a number. All right, and if it goes to -1, it's going to do winches down. Electric hatch probably would work better if I actually had it connected properly, or at all, as you can see. All right, that's why I have problems, and I never connected that either, so the hatch could be fixed. So 1 is going to be, we'll trigger the hatch. All right, and then that will read hatch, that will read winches, and then this will help me remember how to do my pulses, which I always forget. Okay, good. So let's do this. So when in doubt, and you know what's even better? Hook up the dial. If you don't hook up the dial, you're going to be sitting there not reading what the dial's doing. So winches, I can't remember if this is hatch. That's hatch, that's winches, this is hatch. All right, let's read these numbers. This should tell us pretty quickly what's going on. Okay, so first hatch. Hatch opens, it's reading a 1. Hatch reads 0, it's closed, that's good. Winch is up. That's reading a 1. If I click it again, it does nothing. If I click it down, it's not doing what it's supposed to be doing. Okay. So I'm not able to click it down. Okay, so that's something with the pulse. The hatch works. Let's see, the hatch works. Let's see what this is. So pulse, let's go to always on pulse. I think it's always. I can't remember. If not, I'll go the other way. Okay. All right, let's go hatch again. Make sure the hatch works. Hatch works. Hatch is open. Hatch is closed. Hatch is open. Hatch is closed. Okay. Turn on the brakes really quick. All right. Brakes are on, so we're not sliding around. Winch is up. Should be able to go winches down, and it's not doing it. Why are you not doing it, man? All right, we'll try the other option on the pulse, but I don't know what's up. Like I said, I always forget on these pulses what I'm supposed to set them to. Okay, increments 1, reset the value 0, enabled -1 and 1. Winches up as if it's 1. -1 will be winches down. That should be working. Let's go back one on these on-offs. Up. Oh, you're killing me, man. Why? What am I screwing up here? Hatch still works fine. I don't want to loop the up-downs. Let me take the pulses out, see if that would fix it. I doubt it. Nope, definitely not. Okay, it's got to be something simple that I'm screwing up here. Let me find it. If it takes me too long to figure this out, I will skip it, and I'll just figure it out off screen, and I'll explain it to you. But let me make sure my numbers are right. So 1 is on the control harness, which we're not even doing yet. All right, let me take these off for now. I just want to make sure they work with the buttons, and then I can add in the add that in. I was pretty positive they were always, that they needed to be always to do this. On the that's not reset. Don't do reset. Do that. All right. So let me update this. What are they on now? On off. So let me go to always again. Okay, let me see, make sure these aren't toggles. These should be pushes. Push, yeah, that's a push. 4 is a push, yeah, that's working. All right, let me try another thing. I'm going to start with the down. If the down doesn't work, I don't know what's up with that. Okay, so see, down's not working at all. Down's not doing anything. So it could be something's up with the down. I probably numbered the down wrong. I very well could have numbered the down wrong. 10. Okay. That would be it right there. Okay. Should have tested the down a lot earlier than I did. Let's put these back together here. I think they're working. I think I just need to change this value here to 10. Okay. If that works, that's what it was. Because I thought they were supposed to be always, but we'll see in a second here. Okay, let's try down, down, up. Okay, so it's not always. Okay, so we're good. We're making progress. So it was me screwing up that that keypad, the panel number. But these, I think, let's go off-ons. I think that. Okay, down. Should go to 0. Up. 0. Okay, that works exactly how I want it. All right, so let's do that. Let's open the hatch. All right, let's grab this cable. Let's hook that cable. And then this one's going to keep going because it's, it's behind the other one. There we go. Alrighty, so we are now set up. One thing I always forget is this harness is going to want to get in the way of the door. That's something I always forget. So what I think I'm going to do is put a harness hanger in here. That one hangs... Ooh, put it right here maybe. Can I grab the rope off this? Okay, so that will drop it into wherever we're going. So I don't want that. Detach cable anchor. Detach cable medium winch. Okay, now I'm holding it. There we go. That's not great like that, but... Okay, so what I can do is push this winch out a little bit, I think. All right, let me figure out a solution to this. All right, let's do that the next video. Start fresh there and start figuring out a solution for this winch. All right, so thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.